Hello drama lovers, welcome back to my channel. When Chen Jay Winn's smile faded for just a second and IU stood under the spotlight making her fans cry with pride, these were two moments, worlds apart, but equally unforgettable. It started with a simple conversation on set. Liang Jie's name came up, and instantly, something in Chen Jay Winn's expression shifted. His lips still curled into a polite smile, but his eyes, those eyes that usually carry warmth, held a flicker of something else. Not anger, not bitterness. Something quieter, deeper, jealousy. The topic wasn't even scandalous. It was just a casual mention, a harmless praise about Liang Jie's growing popularity and the projects she's been excelling in. Yet for anyone who has ever studied the unspoken language of body movement, Chen's reaction was impossible to miss. His posture stiffened slightly, his laugh turned half a beat slower. He tilted his head as if listening carefully, but the faint tension in his jaw told another story. Fans who know him well caught it immediately. Social media lit up within minutes, slow-motion clips dissecting the moment, screenshots zooming in on his expression, captions like he's trying not to show it or Chen Jay Winn, we see you. Because this wasn't just about professional admiration, this was about a bond that runs deeper, one forged through years of shared sets, inside jokes, and the kind of easy connection you can't fake. But while the internet buzzed over Chen's barely there frown, halfway across the entertainment world, an entirely different emotional storm was brewing, one filled not with jealousy, but with uncontainable pride. And its center was none other than IU. That night, IU stepped onto a stage bathed in golden light, every step of hers followed by the collective breath of thousands. The moment she appeared, the arena erupted not with polite applause, but with a wave of love so powerful it felt like the air itself was vibrating. She was there to accept an award, one that carried weight beyond a shiny trophy. This was a recognition of years of relentless hard work, of music that has healed hearts and inspired dreams. She held the microphone, her voice calm but trembling with emotion. "Thank you for believing in me," she said, her eyes glistening as she scanned the audience. And for IU's fans, people who had grown up with her songs as the soundtrack to their own lives, it was like seeing a loved one finally get the flowers they deserve. Some had tears streaming down their faces, others waved banners so high their arms shook. In that moment, IU wasn't just a global superstar. She was every late-night practice session, every note sung until her voice cracked, every time she stood alone against the odds. And her fans knew it. They didn't just cheer for the award, they cheered for the journey. Back in the online world, the timelines were split. On one side, endless discussion about Chen Jay Winn's reaction to Liang Jie. On the other, a flood of IU's acceptance speech, looped and subtitled in dozens of languages. And somewhere, quietly, these two emotional threads began to intertwine in ways no one expected. Because if you look closely, the stories aren't so different. Chen Jay Winn's subtle jealousy was, at its core, about care about someone mattering enough to stir a reaction you can't fully hide. IU's proud moment was the purest form of that same sentiment, fans caring so deeply that her success felt like their own. It's strange how emotions echo across completely different situations. The vulnerability in Chen's eyes mirrors the raw sincerity in IU's voice. One is guarded, the other openly celebrated, but both speak the same truth. Connection changes us. It makes us feel more, risk more, and sometimes, it makes us lose control of the masks we wear. In a single week, fans witnessed two defining moments, one quiet, one loud. Chen Jay Winn's almost imperceptible pause when Liang Jie was praised told a story without words. A story of attachment, protectiveness, maybe even a touch of longing. It was fleeting, but powerful enough to ripple across social media and lodge itself in the minds of those who believe in their bond. An IU's proud, teary-eyed acceptance that was the other side of the emotional spectrum. It was big, unapologetic, and impossible to miss. It was proof that hard work, talent, and the unwavering support of a loyal fandom can create moments so pure they feel almost cinematic. Two emotions, two stars, two worlds. Yet somehow, both reminded us of why we care so much about these people we've never met. They let us in, just enough, to see that behind the glitz and cameras are human hearts capable of jealousy, pride, love, and every fragile thing in between. Maybe that's why we keep coming back. For the split-second glances and the lifetime achievements. For the tiny tales and the grand stages. Because whether it's a subtle shift in Chen Jay Winn's expression or IU standing beneath a rain of golden confetti, these moments remind us that feelings when real are universal. If your heart caught both those moments, stay with us because the next wave of emotions is already on its way. And the more people talked about it, the more the details began to surface, tiny, almost invisible fragments of those moments that fans replayed over and over. Someone slowed down the footage of Chen Jay Winn's reaction to Liang Jie, pointing out the way his gaze momentarily dropped to the floor before he looked back up with a practiced smile. Others noticed the subtle press of his lips, as if holding back words he wouldn't dare to say in public. It was the kind of body language you only show when the topic hits a little too close to your heart. On the other side of the spectrum, IU's moment was everything but restrained. High-definition photos captured the exact second her eyes shimmered under the stage lights, the way her hand gripped the microphone tighter when she heard the crowd chanting her name. You could see the history in her posture, the long climb to that stage, the weight of every hardship she carried until this victory finally gave her permission to exhale. For fans, the beauty of these moments lies in their contrast. Chen's was all about what wasn't said, a quiet storm behind a composed facade. IU's was about what was shouted from the rooftops, a celebration too big for her to hide even if she wanted to. Together, they painted a complete picture of the emotional spectrum celebrities live with every day, the private battles and the public triumphs. And yet, both resonated because they were real. No press release could have scripted Chen's micro-expressions. No choreographed award ceremony could have replicated the pure, unfiltered gratitude in IU's voice. These were raw, human moments that slipped past the glossy surface of fame, reminding everyone that even the brightest stars feel deeply. In fan communities, the discussion soon turned philosophical.